in TV.
I'm Janet Richmond, and this is the Higher Self Voice. Well, good morning, viewers. It's Janet Richmond, and it's my show, The Higher Self Voice, and today I have a very special treat for you all. The intro you just heard was composed by my assistant, Catherine, and it's played by Dov, my guest. Hello, Dov. Welcome, welcome. And he has a treat for you because he is going to play the rest of the piece. The intro is just one small part of it. And so he is going to perform the piece for you all. And it's really the premiere of the piece, and it's called Solarian Soul. Thank you so much, Dov. Oh, I just want you to know that I'd never heard it played live before, and it brought tears to my eyes. I'm still choked up a bit.
It's a lovely piece. I'm so happy to have been able to add my voice and some parts to it and add a little choir there. and it was a lot of fun to play it.
Well, Dov, in case you didn't know, he studied to be a concert violinist at USC, and wow, that was such a treat. Thank you so much, really. And I was hoping he was going to bring his 6-string violin because he played that when I met him at New Year's Eve. Dov and I were part of an event New Year's Eve, and Catherine was there also. And we kind of made a big connection then, and he had a 6-string.
It was actually 5-string.
I mean, 5.
That's okay, but I would like to get a 6-string. That's where I'm heading.
Oh,
But this is a violin has 4 strings down to the G, and then a 6-string adds a C, a 5th string
okay.
as a C.
I'm sorry,
That's right.
I misunderstood. Anyway, so the point is, I'm just so thrilled, and thank you for being on the show. But I just wanted everyone to know that Dov does more than perform. He composes, he is an artist, he does tarot cards, he's a muralist, he's done murals all over the valley, and
Well,
It-
yeah.
just talk some more about yourself. Tell
Sure.
the viewers who you are.
Well, I started off as a violinist back in elementary school, a long time ago, and while that was fascinating and challenging, it was a little bit limiting as well for me because I felt more than a classical violinist. So I got into improvising it when I was camping, playing, jamming and with guitar at the campfire, and then learned at USC. I became I studied with Darnielle Pershing and did arranging, and I did string section work where I started getting into the studios, and I was an intern at A&M Records where I studied the art of record making and met a lot of great musicians and just kept getting inspired all along the way. But ultimately, I wanted to know more, and art seemed to be a way to explore your imagination and study what artists were trying to express. So I got into art when I went to Europe. I went to
Wait,
museums.
before you get into that, I want you to talk a little bit about some of the incredible musicians you've played with, because I have a list here
Yeah.
if you forget.
Well, it started off in high school where Steve Porcaro, who's the keyboardist of Toto, was in my high school orchestra, and so
Oh, I don't know him, but I'm sure people who are.
he was
Pretty.
his band is a pretty famous band with Hold the Line and Rosanna.
Oh, yeah, I know all those songs. Okay.
So he actually I went into the studio where he needed strings, and so he asked me and some friends to go into his studio and record a backup. So that's where I got my first experience in a studio. And later I worked at A&M Records where I met all kinds of people, from Peter Frampton to Herb Alpert, where I played on his records, and he was a great inspiration. And later I was playing out in clubs, and Ringo Starr was listening to me play, and I played a concert, and Stevie Wonder was there, and I met him, and I played in a Pavarotti movie and met him, and Steve Perry was at a club I was playing at. So I was always around great musicians.
Celine Dion,
Celine and Vanessa Williams and
Natalie Cole.
Natalie Cole. So I was in the studios, and it was always fun to go to Capitol Records or A&M Studios and be in the section.
So, clearly, music is a big part of your life, and now you've just introduced artwork, and I want you to talk a little bit about that for everyone.
Sure. Well, I went to Europe to go to the homes of Beethoven and Mozart in Vienna and Salzburg and get the experience of Europe. And then I went to the museums. And when I came back after going to the Louvre and being in Florence and such, I just started painting. I just had to start painting. So
That's so interesting. You just were so inspired by the classics, I guess.
the classics, I mean, the music and the arts from the
Right.
Renaissance and classical era. Baroque eras, and so I found a new way to express, and it's letting your imagination out in a non-verbal way, and then seeing what you've done is almost painting a picture of your thoughts, and that was fascinating. And then as I kept painting, I saw that I was following some sort of archetypal scheme, and I saw that a lot of my paintings looked like tarot cards. And then I realized I was unconsciously doing a tarot deck. and I kind of grabbed hold of that and said, well, let's finish this thing. So it's been many, many years of doing paintings and kind of morphing them into representations of energies and the wisdom in the tarot, and studying it at the same time. So art became kind of a vehicle to some deeper learning.
Well, I also know that he's done a lot of murals around the valley. And why don't you say how some of that got started? And then
So these things happen from different genesis, which is interesting. So the murals happened because I was living in the valley, where in the early 90s, where there was graffiti and it was kind of gang-like, and it was not really a safe place, but I kind of had to be there because that's where my house was, and I kind of wanted to protect the neighborhood. I kind of wanted to raise the vibration. I didn't want it to come down, and that's, as I had seen happen to where my parents lived in St. Louis. When I went back to try to find their house, it wasn't there because the neighborhood deteriorated, and I kind of felt like, well, this is my chance to go out there. So after I came back from the Earth Summit in '92, I went to Rio, and I got to paint a mural out there about the environment and message of help save the planet and take care of it. And I came back and there's this huge wall right around my house. I thought, well, that's a perfect wall for a message, an environmental message. So it became the Earth Day Everyday mural in 1992. And since then, I've done a lot of other murals, including the schools and alleys. But that one I had to keep up a lot because there was always getting tagged. So I'd have to get out there many, many times and kind of repaint it and reclaim it. And even recently, I painted the title again, bold, and it feels good to like have that still going all this time.
Wonderful. And I want you to tell the viewers, too, about how your murals are showing up everywhere now.
Well, it's an unexpected side effect of what you do. Sometimes you don't know really how it's all going to happen. I think we'll be talking about this in a little bit. How do you know what to do in life when you have different passions and different desires, and where's the path? So I just knew I had to paint these murals and keep them up, keep them fresh, because they're an energy and they're a message of harmony and a message of, let's care for our animals. And I have a lot of birds and whales and dolphins and landscapes and things to make us feel, even though we're in the city, to feel connected to our whole planet and the nature cycle. So lo and behold, a game comes about that's able to track these murals and use them to give out points, called Pokemon Go. So I see kids, and not just kids. I see adults and people with their phones walking around in front of my murals grabbing Pokemon.
I wish we had a little video that we could show, but we don't. I'm sorry, viewers, we don't have the video. But anyway, you really are like a Renaissance man. That's how it feels to me. And so my question to you is, when you get up in the morning, do you have a plan what you're going to work on that day? And is it one thing? Is it a bit of several things? He didn't really talk too much, but he's written symphonies, he's written books, he wants to write musicals. I mean, he's got so many gifts and talents. What do you do in the morning? Do you wake up knowing what you're going to do, or?
Well, it's like finding the what's waiting for me in a way, and as well what I've created from the days before and what shows up. So I do try to, the night before, try to plan the next day as much as I can. So that gives me a head start. But I know if, like, I'm going to be playing in a symphony this week. So that's back to violin, classical violin.
practicing.
I'll be playing at the Ford Theater with an
Oh,
orchestra.
you actually are playing this week.
With an orchestra, yeah.
Oh,
So,
fantastic.
so for me, that's not that's a job, but I love playing with orchestra. But I want my symphonies to get played, so I'm working on finishing up a piece to present to the symphonies. So I use.
And you have had one symphony done already, right?
That's right. That's right. I wrote a piece called Symphony of the Sacred Forest, and that was performed in 2001 by the Valley Symphony Orchestra at Los Angeles Valley College.
Nice.
And it was also played by the Bakersfield College Orchestra, so it's been played twice. It was written because I had a passion of trying to protect a little forest from becoming a landfill. So after I came back from Rio, which was exciting, I got to actually meet John Denver and hang out with him and actually played violin with him in the lounge.
Nice.
Yeah, at the Hotel Gloria. Right now the Olympics are going on, and it's really exciting to see.
You've seen some of the
Rio,
places where you were.
Where I was, and relive a little bit of the spirit of Rio, which we called it back then in '92. And he was there, and we jammed. And then I also was with him on stage. I didn't play with him on stage. I wanted to. I was holding his guitar. I thought maybe I'd play. But a couple weeks later, I was with him in Aspen, Colorado, where my song "Earth Day Every Day" we performed it live before his performance. So I had a group of Native Americans up on stage with me and some kids.
Nice.
That we taught this. So that was a great moment.
That is a great moment.
So
okay.
that's why I did the painting, because I was able to do some murals back in Rio, and then also at Charmley Park where I was a docent. So I thought, let's bring some of that energy back to LA.
What you told me and what I just love is what Dov's passion really is to leave the planet more pristine, more healthy for the future generations. And this is one of the reasons you got involved, I think, with the graffiti and with writing the symphony to save the little piece of forest.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. The forest.
It's real passion for you.
It became that because I was walking around, I was hiking up in this forest that was owned by the trash company, and I knew it was going to be destroyed.
It'll be
And
rebuilt.
I already loved this forest, and it was a emotional experience of knowing a place that you bonded to is going to become a trash dump. It's just almost it's emotionally challenging. So I decided I'm going to write a symphony to put that energy of disappointment or try to save it, or put out the energy for a future forest. And so I actually traveled around the LA area perimeter and went out and tried to hear melodies from the forest. And
Wow.
I grabbed them, noted them down, came back, and worked with a couple arrangers, and we put this piece together called Symphony of the Sacred Forest, and was performed. And it starts off Beethoven-like, classical-like, but it has a little ballet kind of thing in it, and then a waltz, and then it goes to a pop rock thing, and the drums come in, the bass guitar comes in, and it kicks.
It sounds incredible. Can you give the people your...
Go to thedreamingplanet.com.
Okay.
So all this.
Let's say that one more time. Thedreamingplanet.com.
Right.
I hope the still picture came up.
Yeah.
I
There it
can-
is. I see it.
Oh, great. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, there it is. So that's now the portal. The Dove portal is there because I have my art up there. I have the murals up there. I have links to the CDs that I did.
These are his tarot
And my
cards.
tarot cards. So
Oops.
that's okay. There's links, and so that's where and there's a video of the performance of Symphony
Nice.
of the Sacred Forest too.
Wonderful. So, here you are with all these gifts and talents. It must be, and I think there's a lot of people in the same boat where they're tapping into a lot of different avenues, a lot of different passions, a lot of things that you really love and you want to do. And how do you pull it all together? I mean,
That's the question, and make ends meet and make finances and pay the bills and do your passion and have the equipment that you need to play the violin, to paint, have paints to paint, to have, a studio to record and programs to put symphonies on, that's a balancing act. So one step I know you do, and I've been doing it pretty good, is work with other people that are doing it right. And even if you have to pay them, whatever it takes to work with people that have their act together, like a couple of guys are David Arkenstone and Nils, who are producer, composers, and they have their studios, and I've recorded with them on their CDs, and I've performed with them. With David Arkenstone, I've performed live around the world. I got to go to Mexico at the Aztec Theater in Aguascalientes, Mexico, which is exciting. And then I performed in Minneapolis and in Colorado and up north in Santa Cruz with him. So I've got to tour and play on his records. And then Nils produced a couple of my songs and records. And so he's an artist that is more jazz oriented, but has a great talent for everything. And I learned Logic by going in the studio with him. So once you learn these skills, then you just keep them going for when you need them. And then I get inspired. For example, polar bears. Like, you see that this climate change is affecting the polar bears more than ever now. And I wrote a song about polar bears, but it didn't quite get finished. It hasn't quite gotten out. So I get this thing. I got to finish that song.
It's like there's not enough time in the day, sort of. And maybe what I can do for you is see if the higher selves have anything to offer. See what might come up about how to pull the pieces together so that it's sort of a harmonious whole that is not only fulfilling and exciting, but
that'd be great.
Successful. And
yeah, I would really appreciate that, because I know one of the clues is, when you get inspiration, that can take you all the way. If you hold on to that inspiration, that can take you all the way to the end. But the point is, other things come in. You get inspiration for other things. People need you, and yet it just kind of, it's like another bank account is your inspiration. So
right.
That can stop too. And then money can make you stop if you don't have the finances to do it. So I'd appreciate to know, am I reacting to, my question is, am I overreacting to the way things are? Do I write a song about this and then I have to finish it? Or is it, how can I be more, should I be more internally motivated and not pay so much attention to the world? There's kind of a conflict there.
It's probably not an either or, is my guess.
It's
but
let's
both.
go. Another both.
Yeah, all of the above.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm just going to close my eyes.
Okay.
I did a session for the event that we were at New Year's Eve, so Dov is familiar with it.
By the way, that was tremendous. After I played, I got to sit down with all the other people who are ready to welcome in the new year and hear Janet just beautifully guide us through the doorway of a new year and get us all excited about it and not let go of things that would hold us back. And she just did a fantastic job, and I'm so happy that I get to connect with her again today.
Well, ditto for you. You're inspiring for sure. Okay, so we're going to shut our eyes, and I'm just going to ask the viewers to follow along. Act as if you're Dov, and just whatever I'm doing, you do for yourself. And even though the details are different, the things that are going on specifically for him may be different for you, but I think trying to pull it all together and balance all the pieces of our lives is a fairly common theme. We all, even if we're not doing artistic things or creative things, we might be doing jobs and being a husband and a wife or a parent or trying to do our hobbies, whatever they may be. We're all in the state of trying to balance and bring it all together in a harmonious piece. So just follow along, and right now I'm going to ask that you all, the viewers, and Dov and we all to focus in on that divine light within, that pure soul essence, I call it. It is everything that the originating source was, is, and is becoming. It is a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant white light, and I want you to experience it or imagine it or sense it expanding in through and around the totality of who you are, the physical body, the the mind, the soul, the totality of who you are at every level, known and unknown. And in this way, we're creating, and I see you, Dov, and myself, we're creating these gigantic beacons of light, because who we are at the soul level is humongous. And so to bring the pure soul essence light into and become one with and encompass the totality of who we are at that level means that we've become tremendous, tremendous, brilliant lights. Now, in this way, the beacon of light that Dov is and I am, and actually I'm also picking up many beacons of light now in this room. It started out in the early days, I only picked up a handful, but now the whole room is symbolically filled. The higher selves are indicating to me that there are many viewers, and it's past, present, and future. It's not, doesn't have to be a current viewer, and there are many, many symbolically in this room, all becoming beacons of light. And in this way, we're joining in one accord. The divine energies are connecting us all at the chakra level, and we are becoming a beautiful beacon of light that streams into the universe, known and unknown. And we are also we are moving in and becoming one with the originating source of all there is. And this too brings the healing to the very highest level. And we also, I just want to indicate that the higher selves for each individual are part of the soul process that have already are part of the beacons of light. So the higher selves are also present. And there is actually now being created, as I've mentioned in the past, a symbolic platform. It's where I get my focus of attention often. And here comes Dov symbolically right on the platform, but he is surrounded by so many others. It's going to become kind of a conglomerate healing, and I hope Dov doesn't mind. The conglomerate nature is that the many who are present, as I said, past, present, and future listeners or viewers are also on this platform. And so everyone is going to get the benefit of what we're going to be doing for Dov today. So right now I'm symbolically seeing, I'm still focused on him. He's the main guy on the platform. The others are sort of around the edges. And right now he's kind of looking around. I see sort of a haphazard grabbing here and there, running over here, don't forget this. Just kind of almost like a little bit of chaos, because he's trying to do so much and be on top of so many aspects. I can see how you would be very involved in creating a piece, and then suddenly you're inspired over here to do an piece of art, or maybe you go you're driving down the neighborhood and you see there's some more graffiti and you need to add to the mural or fix it, and there'd be constant verbal, visual cues coming, also inspirational. You'll watch something, you go to a concert, somebody will call you up, and you're just kind of running around as if you're trying to figure out, it's almost like there's a sense of urgency that urgent things that come up. So you'll be moved from something to do something urgent. I'm not explaining it very well, but that's okay. What I want to do, and what is really important for you and all the others, is to start to release from the energetic baggage that you carry and that everyone carries. Well, I want to start with time, because there are a lot of elements here. There is a very big essence of urgency here, and I want you to lose the essence or the belief systems or the feelings that things are urgent, that it has to get done, and I've got to do this before I can do that. There's also, and time is it's actually an energetic field. We can actually, by neutralizing some of our time aspects, time belief systems, we can really expand the amount of time that we bring into our lives, the perception of time. And I want you to let go of all the ideas of urgency and just see it coming out, moving see it coming out as dark energy, moving into the beautiful light of the beacon that you have set up. And I want you to just allow the sense of urgency out. And there's a panic here, too. There's a sense of limit. There's an idea that you only have so much time. There's only so much you can do in a day. There's only so much you can put to your passion, because then you have to do the practical, the making money. There are frustrations part of this, the frustration of moving off of something that's talking to you and saying, oh, well, now I really have to see where can I earn my next, paycheck kind of thing. And so I want you to let go, too, of any idea of the either or. I mentioned it earlier, and this is definitely coming up. There is this sense that that somehow, even though this isn't really true, if you think about it logically, because you do make money from your passion, but there is a part of you that feels like to be purely following your passion is not going to make you money. There's elements of your passion that you feel can make you money, but just elements. And so when you're off doing the others, like the tarot cards, for example, maybe you don't see those or feel those as being money makers, and so maybe those get backburnered. But whatever your belief systems are, and I don't know what they are, I want you to let go and of all those belief systems that you carry that limit you. Anything we believe, anything that we disbelieve are like glass ceilings. We can't get past there. And it closes doors. It might even prevent us from moving through a door because we don't see that door as being something maybe that makes us money or takes us to the next step. And so I want you to release any blocks, known and unknown, because we don't have time in this short session that I'm going to be doing to get into much detail, but I want you and all the viewers to release any blocks, any barriers, whether it's belief systems, whether it's fears, whether it's time, issues with time, where you think that time is so limited and there's not enough hours in the day, that, time is your enemy, or your biggest asset is time, and so if you're not using your time wisely, that somehow you're doing something wrong. Whatever your issues are about time, known and unknown, direct or indirect, I want you and all the viewers to let go of. And what I'm seeing now is it's like so much is coming off you, Dov, off the front, the stomach, the heart area, the chest, and the top of your head is really flowing out, and I feel like it's a big door opening. It's as if it's a door you have wanted for a long time. You couldn't figure out at the mind level how to go through that door, but because you're doing these big releases, it's as if you're opening that door yourself, and you are opening it yourself. We open all of our own doors. So as you release it, it's like the door is becoming, you can start to see it in the fog, you can start to feel it, you can start to sense it in your future, so to speak, or in the front of you. You're starting to sense the unfoldment. And I want you just to keep working on those three elements: the blocks, the time issue, and the any beliefs or disbeliefs you have about how it should go. Like you just mentioned one. Should I go within and get the answers, or should I go without? Should I go to externally and see what touches me? It is very clear here. It is, all of it is good. All of it. It isn't right or wrong. I want you to release the judgments, the ideas that whatever directions you're going in, whatever you're trying, whatever you're tackling, is maybe it's wrong. We do that to ourselves. If we haven't opened all the doors we want to open, we think maybe we're doing something wrong. This is very, very normal, very common. So all of the viewers, let's release our self-judgments, our self-attacks, our feelings of failure, our fears of the future. Maybe we feel we aren't good enough, we don't deserve enough, we're not competent, something's wrong with us, we're not quite getting it. Whatever it is, however you might describe yourself, whatever comes in your mind, and even if I don't say it, if it comes up in your mind, Dov, or any of the viewers, go for it. Absolutely. Maybe I'm just on the wrong path. Maybe I've completely missed the boat, or missed the bus, something like that. I want everyone to let go, and you, Dov, especially, to let go of this kind of thing of how we look to ourselves. And what I want to do is I want to call in, activate divine opportunity, divine connection to the self, divine connection to the self, divine acceptance of the self, and the divine understanding and clarity. Because here's the thing, everything that you try, everywhere you get your inspiration, it isn't either or right or wrong. We tend to go there. That's just the way the human condition is. It tends to be either or, but you are putting the pieces in place. You are creating the foundation. You are learning, you're experiencing, you're unfolding. And the more you release any blocks or misunderstandings or fears or resistance or feeling of not being good enough or whatever it is, all the things I've talked about, the more you let that stuff go, the more it gets neutralized, the less those things will start to come up and the less they will block you, because they actually can create real, I keep hitting the microphone, real blocks. They create real blocks in our life. They keep the doors only either not appearing at all or only ajar. Maybe we don't even notice it. And sometimes even a door will open, but because it isn't the door that we want, we don't think it's a door. Because we're busy judging it. We're busy saying, oh dear, that isn't what I needed or what I wanted. But walking through these doors is a way of sort of saying, giving yourself the divine yes, allowing yourself to walk through, experiencing it, seeing how it plays out, bringing that door, that experience into your pure soul essence, see how you resonate with it. If at some point you decide, okay, I've gotten what I can from this door, I'm going to move elsewhere, that's fine. Walking through a door, in other words, doesn't need to lock you in to any one direction. You are a Renaissance man. I am seeing presented to me a huge amount of gifts and talents. You have a tremendous ability. I'm seeing writing, not just writing music, but writing. Actually, the word, I do see music. I see color in many shapes, many ways. You also do have a tremendous affinity, which you've spoken about, but I'm seeing it really clearly here, for nature. And you are allowed to get your inspiration wherever you feel it. If you feel the plight of the polar bears, you felt the plight of the forest that was going to be turned into landfill, you feel the plight of the nature. It is an absolute, it isn't a should or shouldn't. If that's what you're feeling, move for it. You really have a connection with nature. You are very, very in tune with the three lower kingdoms, the plant and animal and even the mineral kingdom. You are very in tune with the planet. Wow, I'm seeing a real connection here. Now, what I want you to do, the higher selves are indicating to me they want you to connect with the pure soul essence of the planet itself. It carries its own, it is a soul, it carries its own pure soul essence. One of the main energies in this pure soul essence that we can utilize is the divine material balance. Now, by material, I don't want anybody to be concerned that it's all about materialism. In fact, it's about materializing from the abstract into the concrete. And when we connect, and I'm seeing you connect at the soul level right to the heart of the pure soul essence of the planet Earth, the energies of divine material balance are moving up this and moving in through and around the totality of who you are. This is going to help you materialize from the abstract into the concrete. You're going to be able to manifest more easily utilizing this energy and pull together it's always in a balanced manner. It's always in the highest ideal. The divine energies from any realm or direction can never hurt or harm. They can't manipulate. It's always in the highest ideal. And this is going to help you not only deepen your connection to the planet itself, because that is really big for you. That is something that you've touched on and allowed into your life in many ways, and this is going to unfold even more. And materialize into the concrete even more, and you're going to bring it in a much more balanced manner. Oh, it's just adding flavor to the words, to the music, to the color. It's just adding a very, very powerful energy field for you, and it's just beautiful. So I'm now going back to the symbol. I see you standing in the center of the platform. Everybody else is around you, and interestingly enough, they've all connected to the pure soul essence of the planet Earth. I do want to simply say that sometimes it does play out in the financial arena, but it plays out also in relationships, gifts and talents, career, I mean everything. It helps us bring into fruition, to manifest in the highest ideal, in the most balanced manner, the abstract to the concrete. It helps us manifest. So I see, and symbolically it's like the whole viewers are all green. I don't know, green is symbolic, I guess, for me, for the planet, but you are standing right at the center, and it's as if I'm seeing pulsing colors, and there's blue here, and it feels very representative or symbolic of the ocean, of water, of life-giving energy. There's greens, there's the brilliance colors. You have a brilliant shirt on. I'm seeing all those colors, and they play out in the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, even the mineral kingdom contains beautiful color, and it's as if you're really resonating with this energy, and it's just moving in through and around the totality of who you are. Oh my gosh, it's bringing a lump into my throat. It's very beautiful, and you're just soaking it in. And I want these energies to continue to help you neutralize, to release anything that is not like it, anything that fights it in some sense, or is in conflict with it, doesn't feel comfortable with it. I want you to move all of those things, known and unknown. We don't have time to get into all the detail, and you can't know all the things that you've taken in from many eons of lifetimes. So I want you just to let go of all of that. Stand in the center, connecting with that beautiful energy of the planet Earth, of the divine material balance, of your own light, self-connection. And we're going to, and I'm just seeing it's as if the clouds have cleared, and the energetic confusion, the energetic blocks, a lot of the energetic resistance, whatever was there, known and unknown, is really moving. I really do, though, feel some stuff going on in the heart area. There is some fear here. You have so much pure intention, so much sincerity of motive and purity of purpose. You want so much to be all you can be and to help all you can help for the planet and everywhere else, that there is heartbreak that you carry when you haven't been able to carry out all that you want. And I want you to release that heartbreak, because it's not just from this life, although I do know, I'm pretty sure you told me you were unable to save that forest and it was turned into a landfill. But in any case, it isn't the first time. You've carried this desire at the soul level to help planets, to help the three lower kingdoms in a very, very deep way, and it's not been the first time at all for you. So this is a heartache that comes from many lives. It's very deep, and I want you to release that sense of, there's a sense of loss here, a sense of grief, a sense of failure, a sense of you didn't do enough, and I want you to let go as much of that as you can, and I'm going to call in some energy I call divine flush to help flush it out. It is just beautiful divine energy that is to help pave the way for you to simply let it go into the light and allow it to neutralize. Now there is a very deep well here. I don't going to get to all of it, but right now the higher selves are indicating, and I want to thank them, they're indicating to me that the time is about up, and they're putting a cocoon of energy around you. The cocoon is energy that will help, will allow you to continue to process, even though I'm going to stop. As long at the soul level you are giving permission, your higher selves will be processing and allowing you to move through and do more in the energetic field. the energetic realm, and also it's going to help you adjust, acclimate to all the shifts that have gone on, because you've done a lot. And I'm just taking a quick look at all the viewers around the edge, and I'm seeing a lot of you all are being put into a cocoon as well. And I only see one person stop. The rest of you are continuing to process. We stop when, at the soul level, we've done enough for that moment in time. There's a lot to acclimate to, and so we all choose to go forward or not at our own time. Might stop today, and then tomorrow we'll go forever. So everybody is different. Every soul is individual, and I'm beginning to see others that are beginning to stop the processing. So, in any case, the session is done. What time is it? Oh, we have 5 minutes. Oh my gosh, that was so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you felt it or so.
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
Of course.
You're
Thank
very
you.
intuitive, but that earth connection was mind-boggling for me. I couldn't even describe it, what it was like. Could you feel that? It was like humming or something.
I felt deeper and deeper into the energy. I felt the colors that you were saying, the blues of the ocean and the greens of the planet, and I felt that there are blocks as far as beliefs. It occurs to me that you can't do something until you think it, until it happens in your mind, and then you think, why didn't I think that? So beliefs are like block things.
Beliefs are, we all have beliefs. We're made up of beliefs, hugely made up of a million different beliefs. And the more we can neutralize beliefs and disbeliefs, the better.
We need to look at them and say, are they?
You don't even have to look at them. You don't even have to look at them, because the thought is, if I let go of that belief, who am I going to become? There becomes a fear. You know, if I believe I need to be hypervigilant or something bad is going to happen to me, there's a fear to release that belief, because you think, oh, well, if I'm not hypervigilant, all these bad things are going to happen. I just pulled something out of the air. You don't actually, it's not like that. It's not a matter of
It's like a reaction to things. You don't need.
So you can go in and say, I want to release, I want to neutralize beliefs, known and unknown, because you're never going to know all the ones you carry. And just go for it. And then you can infuse and call in the divine energies of whatever it is you want to manifest.
And look at it from fresh eyes.
Yes.
That's the point to be at, constantly.
The more you go within, that pure soul essence is pretty key. Doesn't mean you can't have inspiration from outside, but you don't, again, it's not either or. You don't want to just do the outside.
Right.
Or necessarily just the inside, but wherever the inspiration comes out here, bring it inside and see how you feel.
And you brought up urgency and time.
Yeah.
That was good. Yeah. Because
that was a biggie. And many of us have it. That's pretty common. So I love that came up.
Right. That kind of that taints the energy. It's not, we have eternity, infinity, that's the pure soul essence, is
That's
tapping into the divine eternity. And in that perspective, that's releasing.
Yes. Well, I'm just going to say quickly that my guest next week is Eddie Connor, and he is a soul intuitive, a medium. He's an author. He's also a radio host himself. And he's been all around the globe. He's been on TV. He's been on radio. He's been in a lot of places. And he was also mentioned in the magazine, The Best Psychics and Mediums in L.A. He was featured in that. And we're going to do a little bit something different. He's going to do an exchange with me. So he's going to do some sort of reading for me, and I'm not sure at all what it's going to be like. I'm excited. And then I will do in exchange something for him. Meanwhile, I want to thank Dov, all of my heart. Thank you for the wonderful music. I want to thank Catherine, even though she's not here. That was so, I hope my makeup isn't down. I actually shed tears listening to that. I know the camera was on you, and I was glad of that, but I was actually crying.
Yeah, well,
it was so beautiful.
It is a lovely piece. And,
Yeah.
and how it all worked together, how we all met, and how we were able to continue. And I appreciate how you brought me into a deeper place with what I'm doing.
Oh, you're so welcome. Please mention your website again.
TheDreamingPlanet.com. And it's a radio show. You can tune into an ongoing 24-hour stream of music, of a lot of my music, environmental music, nature music, and my buddies and friends that I play on and that I appreciate. Those different
And I
shows.
think Catherine's music is on
And
there too. This song.
Solarian Soul is on there.
If people don't want to buy it, I'll be shocked.
Mm.
I'll be shocked. That thing was beautiful. Between her composition and your playing and the arrangement, oh my gosh. Anyway, so with that, I want to thank you from really the bottom of my heart. Thank you, thank you. And with that, viewers, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next week. Great. Oh my God.
You are watching TradioV Radio and TV.